The controversial CETA trade deal between the European Union and Canada is back on track after Belgium's regional leaders dropped their opposition. The process still has a way to go, though, before completion, and as Adefemi Akinsanya reports, Belgium's Wallonian region is rumoured to have received money in exchange for its support.
At the start of the week, a small region of Belgium caused an uproar after it refused to back a major EU trade deal with Canada. Wallonia's objection meant the Belgian government couldn't sign up to the deal, threatening to derail a process that's been 7 years in the making, and causing the Canadian Prime Minister to cancel a planned trip to Brussels to sign the deal. But fast forward 3 days, and that's all changed.
After long negotiations, we have finally found an agreement among Belgian parties. Wallonia is very happy that our demands have been met. We have always fought for treaties that reinforce social norms, environmental norms, that protect public service.
The Comprehensive Economic and Trade Agreement, or CETA, eliminates 98% of tariffs between the EU and Canada, potentially saving the EU $545 million in duties every year. 27 of 28 EU countries had agreed to the deal, but Wallonia's president, Paul Magnet, opposed it, saying it was bad for European agriculture and only good for corporations. So why the turnaround? Well, the specifics are not yet known, but there is growing speculation that money was the deal maker. And the European Commission's chief spokesperson didn't deny this when asked if Wallonia had been promised additional EU funding.
Let me reply it in a more politically correct way than the question was put. The allocation of EU structural fund is done on a long-term basis, and as you know, it responds to very specific and objective and transparent criteria.
Whatever the reason, it means the deal should now go through. And perhaps Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau will make his journey across the Atlantic after all. Adefemi Akinsanya, TRT World.
Well, for more on the EU-Canada deal debacle, our editor-at-large, Craig Copetas, joins us from Paris to talk about this more. Craig, the Belgian Prime Minister has said it's a deal. It is, to all intents and purposes, a deal. What we don't know is obviously what's been given away in the background, or if this is actually a done deal completely on both sides, do we?
Well, whatever kind of deal this is, it's the most politically incorrect deal I've ever seen. The damage done to the European Union's ability to negotiate complex, broad-spectrum trade deals with other countries will be difficult, if not impossible, to repair. This deal has not been signed. The Canadians went to the store to buy an apple, and now they're looking in their bag, and they don't know if they have lemons, artichokes, or an old can of oil. There are a myriad of problems here, and I'd go out on a limb and say, I don't think any deal is going to be signed, at least not in any way that anyone thinks right now.
Right. Okay. Of course, one of the big people that we'll be looking at this is obviously the lawyers themselves. And you reckon there's a few potholes to come as far as they're concerned, don't you?
Well, they're more like giant craters created by howitzers. First, you've got the European Union Parliament must review and ratify this treaty, whatever it is, and they're unpredictable. And what seems to be the case in this thing, what has gone out of the treaty, lawyers are telling me, was known as the investor court system. Simply put, foreign company comes to Belgium or anywhere, you as a local, a farmer, have a problem with this group, you want to take them to court, you don't take them to your local court.
Right.
You take them to a court that gives superior rights to the foreign investors. That was part of the treaty.
Right.
Has that gone out of it? We don't know yet.
I think the wider question that a lot of people have over these free trade deals, Craig, though, is that they don't actually help a lot of the social problems that have underpinned the discontent that has seen things like Brexit come to pass. And if we only look across the pond at the American elections, there has been a lot of criticism there about their free trade agreement with the North American continent, NAFTA. And if we spread it even wider, the ultimate problem that Britain has with the EU doesn't have anything to do with the fact that the European Union is the ultimate in free trade deals. Am I right?
Sounds like a mess, doesn't it? And what they're going to do in Europe to try and get out of this mess is that the mandarins of the EU have already taken this to the European Court of Justice, and this is critical, Joel. The European Court of Justice within the next few months is going to clarify whether Brussels has exclusive power to ratify these trade deals. And that's going to set up a problem because it's going to create a conflict with national courts.
Right.
And from the day one of the, and that's a problem, and any lawyer in Europe will tell you this. This deal is probably going down.
Right, okay, well, we will leave it there, of course. Again, as you say, much to play for, much to keep our eyes on as we continue this.